We are here with one of the great leaders of the ecosystem here in Colorado, Mike Biselli. Great to be back with you here.
Great to have you back here, and it's so awesome to have Startup Health, such a prominent part of our community. We're so thrilled to have you guys coming back. So don't be shy. Come back as many times as you need to.
I want to spend as much time as I can here. I mean, a day like today,
That's gorgeous.
I hear it's like this every day, though. That's
300 plus days of sunshine a year. One of the sunniest cities in the nation. Just FYI.
That's pretty cool. Actually, why don't we start there?
Yeah.
There's such a thriving ecosystem here. It's really booming in terms of health innovation.
Yeah.
Why is Colorado booming? What's going on here?
A couple of factors, and we need to rewind the clock a number of years. We as a community, we started building this healthcare innovation community really around 2011, beginning of 2012, with the Prime Health coming online, and people starting to rally around this notion of digital health and health tech. And what we started seeing were the payers, the providers, engineers, entrepreneurs, the government, nonprofits starting to wanting to come together to really push the ball forward in regards to health tech innovation. Then you started seeing a huge migration of very talented and very bright millennials moving here. We have about 10,000 people a month moving into the greater Denver area. Wow. About 75% of that are 35 and younger. I think our new tree here is the new state tree is the crane. Wow. It's just booming here. And so you're seeing a very highly educated workforce coming here that is very, very passionate about making an impact. I don't know what's more impactful about reimagining healthcare. I mean, that's a pretty impactful opportunity. So those are some of the factors of why we're seeing this boom here in Colorado.
It also seems to be a really collaborative environment.
It is.
The culture seems to be focused on not just progress, but working together. I don't know, how many years have you been here?
I've been here since 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that just part of the DNA, part of the soul of the culture here?
Yeah, I mean, I know this seems a little reaching here, but it's true. If you even go back to the 1800s, it's a pioneering state. People literally came here on covered wagons with no guarantees in life. So you had to band together, you had to work together to create something new in this state. Then more recently, we could really kind of look back, call it 15 to 20 years ago. A leader in tech and innovation, a gentleman by the name of Brad Feld, showed up. Brad Feld, founder.
One of Startup Health's early investors.
Exactly. Brad's a dear friend of this community, incredible global leader, started TechStars Foundry Group. But if we study his work, he's really, really passionate about the notion of give first. And you spent time with Brad. And that idea of giving first in all that we do here has permeated innovation, has permeated the startup community here, and has permeated really all stakeholders. Again, private enterprise, government, academia, nonprofits. Let's give first, let's collaborate, let's knock down the silos and work together.
You get to spend a lot of time with a lot of different stakeholders in the ecosystem. What are some of the lessons learned? What are some of the nuggets of wisdom that you would share to entrepreneurs, innovators thinking of coming here to start building?
Well, I think, again, it's the power of community. It's the power of togetherness. So we have new entrepreneurs coming here daily. And to be able to share with them that a global brand and a global asset like a Startup Health, they're right here, right? You have an opportunity to quickly get into the governor's office if you're new to this ecosystem. Our academic partners like University of Colorado, Regis University, University of Denver. We have really knocked down those silos that I think you can quickly ramp up, get plugged in, and find an opportunity to make a difference and become part of a community that truly wants to make an impact on this industry. It's pretty special and humbling.
So talk about your mission and what you're building at Catalyst.
Yeah, so before I share what it is, let me share how we even got there. So after I sold my startup, my digital health startup in the end of 2013, so what's my next big move? What am I going to do next? And I really did my debrief from that sale of that startup, and I said, what was the biggest problem that I saw over and over again? And it's the massive and fundamental disconnect between the established healthcare industry and us as innovators, disruptors, and startups. And I said, once we can start working together, imagine the revolution that we can create. And we see it with your work at Startup Health. When I'm at the Startup Health Festival in January in San Francisco, and I see the head of SAP up there being interviewed by Steve Krein, that's what I'm talking about, right? Being able to get those large established players closely connected with our innovators. And that's where I said, I want to build a campus where we do that, where we bring Fortune 100 into the same environment as a one-woman startup and everything in between every single day with one singular focus in mind. reimagining our healthcare industry by doing it together. And so that's what Catalyst is. It's not an incubator. We have several of those. It's not an accelerator. We have several of those. And it's not a co-working space. That's just one floor of 7. We're calling this an industry integrator, bringing all aspects of healthcare under the same roof at the point of innovation to reimagine this industry together.
Paint a picture of the future. What's it look like here in 5 years? What's the ecosystem look like? What does Catalyst look like? What's the vibe? What's going on?
Yeah, in 5 years, you have a tenant at Catalyst like a Hitachi, global number 79 on the Global 500, officing one floor removed from 50 plus startups on our co-working floor. What do those interactions look like? Where do they push the needle to change healthcare? We have Kaiser Permanente at our ground floor at Catalyst, going to have the physician, the entrepreneur, and most importantly, the patient working together every single day. We have Startup Health here in our ecosystem, really bringing your global brand to our innovators here and working with UC Health and University of Colorado Anschutz. We see this continued influx of these leaders from all over the nation and now the globe really coming together for one focus point of changing this industry together. And so I see never be a power by numbers. We're not going to be that density of a San Francisco or New York, but that's okay. We have a very passionate and a very determined group of innovators here from all across the spectrum of healthcare, laser focused on reimagining this industry, not just for Colorado, but for this entire nation. So 5 years from now, if I had my druthers, I want this place to be a beacon that, we can reimagine healthcare, but we've got to do it together.
So one of the things I've noticed is that health is such a big part of the culture here in Colorado. What do you do to stay healthy?
Great question. So that's one of the things that brought me here. I'm a mountain boy. I grew up close to the Reno Lake Tahoe area. I got to be by mountains. And so after I got done playing college football, a little bit in the NFL, I said, where's the biggest city with mountains? Came and visited Denver, and I said, well, I think this is going to be home. So for what do I do? A lot of skiing, a lot of hiking, biking, camping, even just being able to go and take the camping trailer out in the mountains and open up a book. That mental health is very important to me as well. And as you know, with your family visiting here, the mountains are an incredible place to decompress. And so that is one of our great assets here in the state. And I cherish the opportunity to go in the mountains as much as I can.
Well, Mike, thank you for everything that you do to really energize the ecosystem here and for welcoming Startup Health here.
Well, we're thrilled to have all of you, Unity. What you have done for our community has been game changing, and I know if we just continue to work together, we can move mountains, and I know we're going to do it.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.